we're going to be talking about the guy who's been shadowing his career the entire, every step of the way, whether it was on the Patriots, overshadowing, whether it was on the Patriots, whether it was on the Niners, now on the Raiders. We're talking about Tom Brady. Wherever Jimmy goes, the rumors and all the news about Tom Brady follows.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of talked about it.
We talked about it. We talked about it, but we should just kind of quickly summarize just to be safe here. Tom Brady is apparently soon to be minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. He has agreed to purchase a minority stake in the franchise. And I, for one, am elated. I think it can't be bad for the team. I'll tell you that much.
It could.
I guess. I don't really see it though. I mean, that dude's just a winner. Like, you want to talk about winning mentality? That's the ultimate winner. And just a fun fact, okay? I could be wrong on the first part, but I'm pretty sure when he first began starting for the Patriots, that season, he won a Super Bowl. I know for a fact the first season that he started for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I should say the first season that he joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? He wins the Super Bowl. The first season that he becomes a minority owner in the WNBA Las Vegas Aces, they win the championship that season. So I'm just going to put this out here right now. Tom Brady's going to become a minority owner of the Raiders, and we will win no more than 7 games this season.
Okay. So just in thinking about this, like I really had no basis on saying that, I don't even remember. Yeah. Oh yeah. It could be bad.
Anything could happen, but this dude.
No, you said it couldn't hurt, and I said it could. I said it could. And in thinking about it, as you were speaking, I just want to pull up a couple of examples.
Okay.
Michael Jordan won 6 championships as a basketball player and is arguably, I think he's the greatest player of all time. Other people have different opinions, and that's fine. We're not talking about basketball right now. We're talking about Michael Jordan. Right. He was the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, and he was not very successful at it, and he is no longer I don't know if he's selling the team or
right.
I think he's stepping away.
I think so.
Because you could be a great player, but if you don't know what it takes to own a team and to manage a group of people, obviously if you play quarterback or if like you're a leader of a team, you know how to manage people. But Michael Jordan's not the only highly successful player who has been an owner of a team. I think Derek Jeter was an owner for the Marlins.
Yeah.
Or was he a general manager? Dude, all right. Honestly, we should rename the show to Josh doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about and keeps second guessing himself.
But I think you're right. I think Derek Jeter became at the very least a minority owner of the Marlins, but maybe majority. I'm not sure, but I think it was minority. But another good example would be, and I could be wrong here, I'm pretty sure John Elway was. No, he wasn't a part owner. He was general manager, right, of the Broncos.
Don't ask me. I don't know shit.
Yeah. But it's up the alley of what you're trying to say, which is if you don't know how that stuff works, you could be setting yourself up to fail. Personally, yeah. I think when you buy a minority stake, you're not going to have any control. He can go in there and help Mark Davis if Mark Davis wants him to, which I don't see why Mark Davis wouldn't, But as long as he's a minority owner, he's not going to have much say, I think what this really is a guy that can afford to make this kind of investment. And it's a guy who loves sports and wants to continue to be a part of the sport when he can't, I shouldn't say can't, but won't play anymore when he's retired, and it just makes sense to me. I think I honestly, it would have made a little more sense, I guess, if it were the Niners, because that's like his hometown team. But I don't know if they have any minority stakes up for sale. I kind of doubt it, you know. Um,
No,
but
it's
and
Jed York's
also,
playground.
yeah, and also, I don't know, just the Vegas market. I think that just made sense. And there was the rumor way back in the day of like when John Gruden was the coach, Dana White tried to get the Raiders to get Brady and Gronk before the Buccaneers did, and it almost happened. It's just writing was kind of on the wall that Brady and the Raiders were kind of
Destined.
in a way, you know, and that's why I still hold on to this little like before he retired this offseason, I was convinced he was going to be a Raider this season. I was convinced it was either Brady or Garoppolo. Like I was for sure on that. Um, and
You
it ended up
also
being
wanted Daniel Jones.
I thought Daniel Jones would have been cool, but if you look at the contract that he got, I'm glad that didn't happen. I just think he's a little I wouldn't say underrated, but he kind of flashed this season, and I think with his abilities, I think he can be very good, Daniel Jones. But yeah, it like you said, it kind of was starting to feel the past couple of years like maybe Tom Brady to the Raiders was a little destined, or at least once this happened, he buys a minority stake, and it was like this was just destined to happen, you know. And again, everything that Tom Brady touches turns to gold. I can't complain until something bad happens, which knowing the Raiders, maybe something bad will happen, but I knowing Brady, it won't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to think that he maybe helps the franchise in different ways. He's really hands on with the quarterbacks. I don't know. That'd be really cool, you know. He's not officially a part owner yet. Again, I believe the NFL has to vote on it or approve it, however that works.
No,
The
I mean
owners
he just
meeting,
has to pass his physical.
yeah,
No.
there you go. But yeah, for me, it's welcome. You know, I really, with all the history of him with the tuck rule and everything, and just how often he won. I might have explained this a little bit how I work as a sports fan in the last episode, which is I always root for the underdog if it isn't my team, you know. And seeing a team, go out there and just win and win and win, whether it's the Patriots or it's the Yankees or it's the Red Sox or it's the Celtics or it's the Lakers or whoever, as long as it's not my team, it's going to begin to annoy me, you know. And I like to see the wealth spread when it comes to sports, you know. And Tom Brady's career definitely annoyed me to the point where he became kind of a villain in my eyes. But then once he went to the Buccaneers, something switched in me, and I gained this soft spot for this guy who was undeniably the GOAT to me, going to a new team and just wants to prove, kind of like Rocky Five or Rocky Balboa, you know, and it's in a way, like he just wants to prove like he can do it on his own, you know, without Bill Belichick. He wants to prove like, no, I'm the GOAT, not Belichick. I'm the GOAT. And his first fucking season, he does it. I was like, you know what? I can't hate this dude anymore. That right there is he's him. He is him, you know. And now he's a part of the Raiders. I can't be more happy.
It's pretty respectable. I mean, we'll see how he can coexist with Mark Davis and the other owners. They have to all be in lockstep. I would imagine that Brady would probably be more involved than the other owners because until you just told me right now, I didn't even know there were other owners of the Raiders. Everybody, including myself, just only talks about Mark Davis. And
Yeah, I
who knows? I mean, maybe Brady can take him to a barber. That would be first step towards cleaning up the Raiders. But
yeah. You never think about the minority owners. Usually they're pretty silent, you know. But that's the other thing about him working well with Mark Davis. Mark Davis became the majority owner of the Las Vegas Aces a few seasons ago. And then Tom Brady jumps in and becomes a minority owner. And very soon after that, Mark Davis came out and said, "I want to work with Tom Brady more," and that was another reason why I felt destined. Was Mark Davis wanted to work with him more. Like it seems like they have a good working relationship. They've already won a championship together. Um, I think it can work out really well. And
The
you have to
Aces
just consider
are what sport? Is
W
it
WM.
WNBA?
Yeah, you have to also consider right now the coaching staff and the front office also have ties to Tom Brady. You know, so I could totally see him being very hands on, not in the sense of like being a coach or anything, but occasionally showing up at practice, helping out the quarterbacks or something. Just talking to players,
Well, I
bringing
can
a
tell you
winning
right now.
mentality
Yeah.
and
No,
culture
I mean
change.
that's a good point. I think it's good news already that they're working together. Um, I think if it was like a brand new, they hadn't worked together before, but it was like a bringing Tom Brady and that's a Hail Mary. That would be a little bit different. It's like, oh, we got Brady now. Now we're inheriting all these things when maybe they have different views on how to run the team, which I think
Right.
could still happen because
That could,
the WNBA is way different than the NFL.
totally. Yeah.
Brady is going to say, all right, you need this, 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 and this. And you have to remember, Mark Davis also he has to uphold his dad's legacy. Like that is huge. The Raiders have, that the storied history that was, built by Al Davis.
Right.
And, I mean, thinking about it, the best way to honor him would be to win more Super Bowls. So I think if he has to take a backseat to Brady, and if Brady can tell Mark Davis everything that needs, that's required to win a Super Bowl, then just as long as Mark Davis is fine, not being the one, at the forefront, as
Well,
long as they're both on the same page, that's I
right.
think the main thing.
Yeah, I think what is key is being on the same page, but I don't think for a second at any point Mark Davis will give up his majority say or anything like that. Like he's always going to have the final say, you know. But I think if he's wise, he knows that having Tom Brady, the GOAT, by his side to help him with decision making, that's a person you should listen to, especially when it comes to like on the field sort of stuff. Uh, when it comes to managing a franchise, I think Mark Davis might know a little bit more as of right now. Um, yeah,
I wonder how Tom Brady feels about the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing going on, but it's not official yet, so I don't think there's anything Brady can do if
my
he does
guess
have
would
something opposed to it.
right. My guess would be whenever he is approved as a minority owner. My guess would be that the Raiders would have a press conference for him, and that's when we'll probably hear some of his thoughts on certain things. Maybe it'd be months in advance from now, and Jimmy Garoppolo's contract won't be a topic anymore. But I am curious too what he thinks about that. But yeah, I would love to see Brady as a part of the Raiders as a minority owner again. I usually they're pretty silent. I wouldn't expect him to talk too much, but Brady is a personality too. So I could see him being on Twitter or something like hyping up the Raiders. That'd be crazy.
At the end of the day, I think this is good news, but obviously, as time goes on, we'll know if it was a good move or not.